All right, everybody, we're going to give people just one more minute so that we can get started right at 2. We have a few people on now. If you could just drop in the chat box if you can hear me, that would be great. So we don't even have to waste time running that test. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. So if somebody could just drop it in the chat box that you can hear me. Oh, perfect. Okay. The other thing I want to do is, if just based on the registration, we have seemingly a few different type of industries going on. If you could drop in the chat box what line of work you're in or what your business is, so that as I'm going through the presentation, if I have an opportunity to make it applicable to your business, then that would help. So if you can just drop in the chat what line of work you're in or what line of work you hope to be in. If you don't want to give business name, that's fine. Industry would work as well. And we'll go ahead and get started so we can get you guys out of here in a decent time. Okay. Okay, so this is the 2018 Top Digital Marketing Trends. I am the presenter, Kelly. I'm a digital marketing expert. I've been in the space for a total of 12 years experience in communication. So that's public relations, marketing, and digital marketing all combined. As we know, digital marketing is a fairly new industry. When I got started, it was not around. There was no social media. So this industry has grown tremendously over the last 5 years. And as a professional in this space, whether it's to my fellow communication colleagues or to my clients that are in business, this is affecting everyone. So on some level, everyone should be paying attention to it, regardless if you are on social media or not. It's a really, really great tool for business. And so that's kind of what I want to cover here. My business is Kelly Brand Communications. We are a digital marketing agency, and we have a strong focus on identifying qualified leads for our clients, and then creating digital content to help convert those leads into sales. The big question people have, or sort of, I guess, the turn off about marketing, and I think one of the reasons why people are a little more apt to treat it as a nice to have, even in the traditional space, it kind of comes last. Or if there are budget cuts, people will usually cut from marketing first, is because it's traditionally been difficult to tie into the bottom line. So in my business, we try to make that as closely aligned as possible. And anytime I'm communicating information, it's with that in mind. If I'm teaching or speaking or anything like that, I want to tie into this digital marketing being tied to sales, because it is tied to that. And we have a lot more access to measure that today. So that's a good thing as well. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today, we're going to specifically be talking about the trends that are going to be emerging this year. This is our second year doing this type of top trends for the year. We did one last year around this time. And like I mentioned in the ad for this presentation, what worked last year will not work this year. What worked 6 months ago will not work this year. Things are changing at lightning speed, so you definitely want to keep your skills fresh. I do want to start off with just social media overall, just a few things that are new with a few of the platforms that people use on a consistent basis, that being Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So we'll be covering things regardless of what industry you're in. One of those platforms is applicable to your business. Also video, the importance of video. We mentioned last year this time how important video was going to be There were already statistics showing that it's the emerging sort of distribution of communication. And I think you can, a few minutes scrolling through any one of your feeds, Facebook or LinkedIn or even Twitter, you can't scroll for more than a few seconds without seeing a video of some kind. So that's super important as a business strategy. Also, I want to touch on automation, things that you can do to automate in your business. And then chatbots. Chatbots are an emerging function that you can implement fairly easily. So I want to cover that. So let's start again reviewing what social media is and what it is not. Social media overall is a listening tool. It's an opportunity for you to listen to what your community is saying, what they want, what they're interested in, and communicate with them in real time regarding that. Whether it's B2B, B2C, consumer goods, it doesn't matter. People are living in these platforms. So you want to take that opportunity to communicate with them in real time about what's important to them. It should be used as a two-way conversation. I know when Facebook first kind of emerged for business, it was just a lot of posting about what you had going on as a company, and that's fine. But more and more people are wanting to have, though, their expectation is that brands are going to have two-way conversations with them about things that are of interest to them, to the end user. What social media is not. It is not a tool for direct sales. This is a conversation I have quite a bit with clients or potential clients. And when we're pitching or when we have a client and we're having strategy meetings, of course, we want to align our social strategy and digital strategy to sales, but it's not a direct sales tool. It's not meant to be a virtual billboard. The posting, a LinkedIn post is somebody's not going to click on it likely for the first time seeing you and purchase your product or whatever the end conversion is. It's an opportunity to leave digital touch points. So in business in general, before there was social media or anything digital, you learned about how marketing touch points and how many touch points it takes before you convert. And at some point, I think it was 7 touch points before the end user, on average, before an end user would convert. That's all social media is in a nutshell as it pertains to business. It's an opportunity to create a touch point, not a direct sale. So here are just a couple of stats just to reflect. Last year we reported, and since we did this at the top of the year, it's the statistics we're pulling from are from the previous year. So when we did this type of presentation, the beginning of last year, we were pulling for 2016. At that time, there were 1.79 billion active monthly users on Facebook. And by the end of 2017, the reports are that there are now 2.2 billion active monthly users. So that's a huge uptick. Also, Instagram has gone from 500 to 800, and LinkedIn has gone from 476 to 500. One of the most common responses I get from people when you start talking social strategy is, well, my client or my customer isn't there. There is enough of everybody's client and enough of everybody's customers on one of these platforms that companies should be paying attention and putting forth effort in their digital strategy. They're somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you sell, tractors, high end, low end. I mean, there is a platform where you need to be creating a digital touch point. It does not matter what you're selling. All right, so let's cover Facebook, what's going on with them. As a lot of you know, you may be familiar, at the top of the year, there was a new Facebook change that came straight from Mark Zuckerberg announcing that Facebook business brand pages would no longer have organic reach, meaning you now have to pay for ads if you want your content to be visible on a Facebook business page, in a nutshell. So as you can imagine, people were really freaking out about this, and there have been actually a few news publishers that have closed up shop because they were completely dependent on that organic reach. And then I have reports from my colleagues, their clients, they had, invested a lot of time, not necessarily money, they had a lot riding on the organic reach of their business pages on Facebook. And the algorithm changed immediately at the beginning of the year. So one of the key lessons here is these things change all the time, which is why I'll probably start doing these type of trend things twice a year, because the algorithms shift, and that means the rules change and what you're doing needs to change. Now, this is a positive in some ways because now you can really fine tune the targeting of your ads on Facebook to maximize the relevance and the ROI. And Facebook has gotten a lot more granular with targeting features. So as you're picking the audience that you want to see, you can pick people that have searched for very specific things, that have expressed an interest in a certain topic. So you can get very, very granular with it, which is a good thing. And you also get to use these features to weed out audiences who are unlikely to buy your product. So this will increase your conversion rate and your overall return, because if you're in marketing or you are, in charge of a marketing budget, at the end of the day, you want to see what you're getting per dollar. So you don't want to be wasting money on reaching people that were never interested in what you had to offer in the first place. So as you are starting to think about advertising strategy for Facebook, here are a couple of things you want to consider. Definitely video ads. This is a real opportunity to evoke emotion and create excitement, with your facial expressions, your hand gestures, the inflections in your voice. People are so adverse to video, but I'm telling you right now, this presentation, we're touching on video a lot because it's the forerunner. This is what is getting the attention on these platforms. So if you are in charge of marketing, or you have a small business, or you're in charge of executing this strategy, if it's not you, it needs to be somebody that is putting their face out or creating the video content that's not afraid to get in front of the camera. Because it's just a lost opportunity if you don't. And it also builds trust, because on some level, people feel like they know you more. When they see you in video, they see you in action. So it's not a static, it's not a photo, it's not something you wrote. Those are all good too. But video makes that connection quicker for somebody to say, oh, wow, like she seems like she knows what she's talking about. But there are little triggers that go off in your brain that, whether it's the way you look, the way you dress, the sound of your voice, all those things make a connection that the end user is not really consciously aware of, but they work. And so I'm going to get into the different types of ads, but if you can just drop a couple of, if anybody has used ads, video ads, and what has been the result for you. Do you like it? Do you find it helpful? Is it helping to grow your business? Like, what's your experience with video ads? So there are a few different types of ads that you can use. This is what they call a carousel ad. So it allows you to feature a few different offers within one ad. So instead of having to decide, which one are we going to use? Which product are we going to promote? Or which offer are we going to put out? You can use a carousel ad. And I think the last time I checked, you can do up to 10 different offers on here. You can use multiple images, multiple offers, and it just provides a richer experience and a more compelling call to action. This is called a collection ad. So this is, it allows users to browse through multiple products or informational pages. So for example, this is a collection from Adidas, and it's got the hoodie, the shoe, the bag that are all literally from the same collection. So you get sort of this initial snapshot. And so then you're aware that this is all part of the same thing, but you have the opportunity to click on one and actually purchase. And then this is a lead ad. So this is really great for B2B or B2C. It's a great way to capture information directly in the app. And ad formats like lead ads and collection ads keep audiences in app as they interact with your brand. So for instance, a lead ad is going to pull up a capture form right away, and it'll actually auto-populate information from Facebook the Facebook user's profile. So they don't even have to type it in. This is how smart the information is getting. And so this feature is going to dramatically reduce the friction in your marketing funnel. It's going to encourage more prospects to convert because it's simpler for them. So, you know, everybody's so time starved, and as small of a step as that seems, people don't want to leave their feed. If they're scrolling through their feed, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn, or they don't want to leave and be directed someplace else and have another window open, all that type of stuff, or another tab open. So if you can have something that removes that friction, those few seconds, you have their attention and you can convert them at that point. You can get their email address, or you can get them to subscribe, or you can get them to download a white paper or whatever it is that you're trying to do without it being even the slightest inconvenience to the end user. So Instagram, the hashtags are still a great tool to use. The only difference that has kind of emerged is that people are using more branded hashtags now. You know, when Instagram first rolled out, you didn't have sort of this over abuse of hashtags. So if I wanted to search for digital marketing, there is going to be a ridiculous amount of stuff that comes up. Some of it may be relevant, some of it may not be. So as a business or as a brand or as a company, you want to have a branded hashtag so that you can create a unique connection and stand out. So you can use the traditional things that describe your business. You can use the traditional hashtags that describe your business, but you want to have one or two in there that are uniquely branded to your business. So if somebody clicks on it, they don't get 2.7 million postings for digital marketing. They get, you know, KBC digital market, hashtag KBC digital marketing, or hashtag your brand name, and then whatever else the industry is applicable. You can come up with something catchy. As long as it's unique, you create an opportunity. When they click on it, they see all your stuff. They don't see everything pertaining to digital marketing or PR or anything like that. It really does help you to stand out. So for my e-commerce people, this is a really cool new feature for Instagram. It's the shopping feature. Right now, it is only for Shopify, but as with most things with these, the platforms that are social, they start with one connection and then they, open it up to other things. So right now it's just for Shopify, but I have a feeling they're going to allow this for other shopping platforms as well. So you can tag multiple products. And again, that in-app purchase, that removing that friction from the consumer. I'm in my Instagram feed. I don't want you to open me up and take me to another page and disrupt my flow. You want me to purchase this? The first one, you see it in your feed. And then when you hover over it, you can see the pricing. Sorry, this is so blurry. It's the best one I could get. You're interested, you click on it, and then you can purchase right there. And when you're done, you click the X and you're back in your feed. You never lost your place. And that's so important to people. They don't want to be disrupted and, interrupted from what they're doing. All right, so LinkedIn for my B2B people. LinkedIn is really emerging as a super powerful tool for branding, personal branding, as well as B2B targeting. First and foremost, LinkedIn publishing is really great for long form articles. So that would be 1,000 to 3,000 words. It's great for how-to. So any sort of step-by-step practice that is applicable to your industry or your brand. And the thing about it is you just want to make sure that you're giving practical and professional information. It doesn't need to be all about, one whole complete article, 3,000 words, just about the benefits of your business. Maybe talk about the benefits of, people that have used it and what has happened and enrich them or help their business or whatever the end result is. You have to kind of look at it from the lens of the customer. Why are they going to care? What would they want to know? And you can create articles and publish them on LinkedIn that way. Also, video, again, another platform. Video is super important. You want to keep them short on here, 2 minutes or less. It's an opportunity for you to show your personality, yes, even in a professional space, because again, most businesses are not reinventing the wheel. So while they have competitive advantages and, benefits for this and benefits for that, it's not usually so groundbreaking that you would automatically stand out. Now people are realizing they have to tie a face to the brand, because this is what people want. They don't want to just do business with, XYZ company. They want to know Rick at XYZ company, and they want to know Sherry at XYZ company, and have a little bit of that peek into the personal connection of the people that are working at the company. And then that will, number one, capture their attention. And then it goes into, okay, well, if this business has something that a service offering or a product offering that is a benefit to me, well, let me look into it now. But it was the video maybe that got their attention first for them to even go to the next step of looking into what you have. And again, it's an opportunity to showcase your knowledge and expertise. And so, I think too, if you're on LinkedIn, you can't scroll more than a few seconds without seeing a lot of videos that people are putting up of themselves. So you want to make sure that you're looking into that as well. Also, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a phenomenal tool to use. It allows you to do what they call precision marketing. So again, the idea that you have this marketing budget, you throw it out there, you see what sticks. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. And if you do B2B, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is amazing. You target key prospects, whether that's individual or company, and you can create you can personalize your outreach more. So if you are in, let's say you want to do tech, or you sell, you're an energy consultant, you would go into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, put in who your target prospects are, even if that's by industry. Maybe you don't know all the companies you want to reach. LinkedIn will spit out a list of companies that, based on what you say, I want people in the energy space or the tech space or whatever space, they're going to give you a list of prospects by company. You plug in maybe the job title of the decision maker, if that's CTO, if that's in-house counsel, whatever it is. And so now you have this list, not only of the companies, but the people, their names, their LinkedIn profiles. And LinkedIn will offer suggestions on what you can say to them. So the whole, I don't know, okay, I know who to reach, but I don't know how to start the conversation. LinkedIn is giving suggestions on how to start the conversation now. So it doesn't get any easier to have, create authentic connections with your target key prospects. Just a couple of stats on video in general, mainly live video. So we've talked about sort of the video that you can pre-record and upload at your leisure. There is something definitely booming about live video, and this may or may not be applicable to every business. And currently, for certain B2B, live video may not be the way to go. But if you're e-commerce or you have service or something like that, there's an opportunity for live video for you to capture your audience. Recent stats, 78% of online audiences watch Facebook Live. So while we're all annoyed when we see that little face pop up, people are watching. And if you have something of value and you're targeting the right people, they're going to watch as well. Live video averaged 2 times the engagement rate of non-live video. And then as far as Instagram stories, there are 200 million people that use Instagram stories. So for Facebook Live, you can do Q&As. I'm really considering incorporating Facebook Live into our marketing strategy, possibly the day after we air the webinars, as an opportunity to answer any questions that came in later, or to just make more connections and give some feedback. Special events are a great opportunity to go live. Trade shows. So now we're talking the B2B. Instagram stories, you can do a day in the life. You can show your product in action. You can promote special offers. Instagram stories are only there for 24 hours. So that's a great time to create offers with some sense of urgency. All right, automation. So by definition, Automation is an automatically controlled operation of an apparatus, process, or system by mechanical or electronic devices that take the place of human labor. So what does that mean as it relates to digital marketing? It simply means that certain functions of your digital marketing practice are put on autopilot. So we'll talk about chatbots for sure, and how they're helping to create a personalized experience, and the fact that they're a time saver for both you and the end user. So again, we're removing the friction. Slowly but surely, we're making it easier for the end user, but in this case, easier on ourselves as well. So there are currently two types of chatbots. You can have the kind that are embedded in your website, which I'm sure most of us have experienced, especially lately. You go to a website, that little box pops up and says, oh, hi, can I answer any questions for you? Or how can I help you today? Sometimes it's scheduled immediately. Sometimes it pops up after a certain period of time. Those are settings that you set as a brand. And for both website and Facebook Messenger, they're fairly the same benefits. You can customize the user experience. You can use it as a customer service tool. You can, have them answer any frequently asked questions. You can connect, user with a specific department. So, if you put in there, how can I help you today? I have a sales question. So then on the back end, it's routed to have them automatically connected to a sales rep. And you can communicate in real time. Now, the difference between the website and Messenger is that Facebook Messenger is in-app. So we're back to that again. So this doesn't require them to leave Facebook if they're already in their feed and maybe they see an ad or they go to your Facebook business page and they want to engage. They have an opportunity to ask you a question. This is best for brands that have a strong community on Facebook already. Before the algorithm came, there are brands that went all in on Facebook business page and just built really, really strong communities. So they may want to consider having the messenger there because their community is already really engaged there, as opposed to website, or you can have both. If you're just starting out, you may want to test both and see which one gets the best conversion. The other thing that this can be, it can be answered by a human or a bot. So that means that when you create the chat bot, whether it's your website or Facebook Messenger, you can have the service that you use load in predetermined the answers to frequently asked questions. Or when someone says, I have a sales question, an email can be routed to you or whoever's in charge of sales. There's a user online that has a sales question, and then a live person can respond. So there's multiple ways that you can do it, which is good. Here are a few platforms that you can look into if you're considering chatbots. For your website, Botsify, Collect Chat, and GoBot. And then for Messenger, there's Chatfuel, MiniChat, and FlowXO. So you may want to take a look at those. I think most of these are free. They have a free version. So you may want to look into that and see if it's something you want to try. I think it's definitely a good tool to use if you are looking to engage immediately with the user, as opposed to letting them fumble around the website or fumble around and wonder, or give them an opportunity to say, I have a question, but I don't really want to talk to anybody. Well, I'll try to remember to call later, or I'll try to remember to email them later. Like, you want to remove that friction, get them right when they are interested, and start the conversation, start engaging them. So now what? You might want to take all this information and either go to your CMO or whoever's in charge of marketing and really look at what can be integrated into your plan for this year. You may not do all of it. Actually, I probably recommend that you didn't try to do all of it, but you'd want to look at what makes sense for your business. If you're B2B, then maybe Instagram story is not where you want to put your attention right now. Maybe you just want to focus on Facebook. You can do some, you don't have to do all, but you should be doing something. Again, this excuse that my client isn't there or my user, that is out the window. They are all, everybody's there. There's more than enough people there for you to be putting some sort of effort behind this, with the overarching goal of any digital marketing strategy really is to connect with your user and give them information that they are interested in. We are past the days of it being satisfactory to just go to an Instagram page and see a bunch of product shots, or go to your Facebook page and see a bunch of self-promotion for the brand. The user wants engagement. So you have to sit down with your team and figure out how to make that happen, what that looks like for you. But this is a function of the business that needs attention. It needs nurturing. It needs consistency in order to yield the results and kind of give you that return on your investment. But it's just marketing online. Sometimes when people hear it that way, it makes more sense. It's like, if you think about removing marketing period from your business, that would sound kind of crazy. But people hear terms like digital marketing or social media marketing, and I guess the connotation is that this is for kids, or is for play, or it's not that important. And that is not the case at all. It's just marketing online. It's just creating touch points on the internet, no different than in real life, or in person. So try to look at it from that angle. I should have put my email in here, but it's kelly@kellybrandcom.com. If anybody has any questions, like I said, I'm going to try to go live tomorrow, if, as maybe an opportunity once you take this and digest it, and, maybe then you'll have some more questions. But if there are no more questions, thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful. Our goal is to try to do this once a week. I have a lineup of different webinars that I'm trying to roll out. The next one being the how to use your website as a sales tool. Definitely one on email marketing. And then one on voice marketing, because that's an emerging area as well. Those are a lot more granular. So if you're in charge of your digital marketing, that's going to be great for you. But if you don't have any questions right now, certainly feel free to email me later. And I hope that you stay tuned. We've got a really great lineup of new content coming out. Thanks for your time, everybody.